As we won the first leg of that playoff in the Champions League 5-1 against Besiktas. I thought there was not really much of a point to come back for the second leg. We ended up winning that one 6-1. So we've come back today for the first proper knockout round in the Champions League. It's the round of 16 and we've got Juventus. We've also got the small matter of potentially winning our first major trophy in this save in the EFL Cup final against Man City, which somehow I just overlooked. How are you doing, everybody, and welcome to part 12 of Club 3 here on My Career on FM23. I'm Stu. Thank you for joining me in today's video, where I'm still not 100% sure what I'm going to do, because I kind of want to show you both Juventus games, but then we have got the EFL Cup final against Man City, which we absolutely have to show you. So I do have a plan in mind, which I think we're going to do, but we're going to see at least one game against Juventus and that EFL Cup final against Man City. And if you're excited to see whether we could potentially win the first major silverware in this save, then please leave a like on the video for me and subscribe so you don't miss any Football Manager content nonsense that comes out of this face right here. I've muffled my words up there completely. Since you were last with us, it was in the January transfer window, and I do believe it was the back-to-back losses that we had. So a quick nose at that, and then we'll get into the plan for today's video. So the back-to-back losses were against Barcelona and Man City. We then picked things up in the Champions League in the final game we had against Rennes. We battered them 6-0. That was a lot of fun. Tommy Gardner getting on the score sheet there, which is good. We brought him back from his loan. I think you were already aware of that, but yeah, we brought him back, and he scored in that game, didn't score in the next game where we lost against Villa, and then got 4 goals against Brentford, because of course he did. He's been a bit inconsistent, but he has scored every now and then, so good to see. Then beat Peterborough in the FA Cup 4-0, nice and consistent, nice and, what's the word I'm looking for? Nice and dominant, so it's not the word I'm looking for, but effectively, we battered them. Sheffield United, we struggled against a 91st minute winner from Luke Thomas got us through. We then beat Besiktas, as mentioned, 5-1. Lost against Man United 4-1. That was hard to take. We started the game so poorly, which is ridiculous because we were, Makoko and Amadozic both getting goals early on. Pinamonti got one back, and then later on they just did us. It's annoying because after half-time we were much better, and then they just got us with a 1-2 counter-punch. We then beat Besiktas 6-1. That was glorious. But then lost against Arsenal 3-1. Continental hangover apparently is a real thing for us. But then we beat Blackburn 4-2. The Arsenal match, by the way, was in the FA Cup 5th round. So we're out of the FA Cup. So I was going to say it was 2 league games in a row. It wasn't. But it was 2 games in a row on English soil. But then we did beat Blackburn, as mentioned. We struggled, though. We really struggled. Dele Alli scoring after 4 minutes. Then took an own goal and a Pinamonti goal to get us back ahead. James Price then made it 3. They then got a goal on the stroke of half-time, and Pavlovic settled it in the second half. We were not really good value for that, especially in the first half. We really, really struggled. Brings us to today against Juventus. So, the plan for this video, I think, is we're not going to show you the first game, but I am going to keep the camera rolling. And anything dramatic happens, any goals go in, we're going to quickly go over them, and we'll have a look at them, and then we'll get through that as quickly as possible to get to the Man City game, and then get through to the second game against Juventus. That's the plan. And this is the 11 that I'm hoping will be enough to get past us against Juventus. It's Lunin in goal, Jimenez, Cresswell, Pavlovic and Thomas in defence, Lavia, Ward-Prowse and Veloso in the midfield, with Palmer on the wing supporting Pinamonti and Price. Important to point out, Romeo Lavia is now our club captain. The reason why he is because Borno, I don't know what it is, but he's just not been very good this season. As you can see, he has had a couple of good games here and there. But there's been so many games where he has made sloppy mistakes that have cost us goals. I just can't anymore. I don't know if it's a combination of his low aggression, his composure and his decision making maybe. But he's just not been very good for us. He's 29 years old. In theory, he's still got 1 or 2 years left in him while he's at his peak. But yeah, I think he's going to be moved on next season. So Lavia, bearing in mind Romeo Lavia is currently 25 years old. Hopefully he's going to be here for a while. He's a quality player. He's currently wanted by Chelsea. He's going to be here for a while. So it made sense to put him the captain instead of James Ward-Prowse. So that's the only thing I wanted to quickly mention there. But yeah, I'm going to jump into this game. We're going to see how it goes. And fingers crossed we can come out of the first leg with a good result. You already know our lineup. I'm going to quickly show you the Juventus lineup as well. Just so we can have a look and see what current players they do still have. I've already had a look at this. So they've got Fabio Vieira who's currently at Arsenal, Locatelli and Fratesi in the middle, Chiesa is out there, Diogo Dalot over on wing back as well, and Erkan Shaqiri in goal as well. Those are good players. Those are very, very good players. So I do think we're going to struggle. But let's find out, shall we? Let's get into it. Oh my word, Pavlovic just scored. It's in the 20th minute. We started off really well in the game. Juventus have just started to turn the screw a little bit and have more chances. This is one of the first highlights of the game. In fact, I think it's the first highlight of the game. It's a Ward-Prowse corner, and Pavlovic is the man who meets the header, nods it in from a Ward-Prowse corner, and we lead in the Champions League round of 16 first leg by a goal to nil. Get in there, boys. Come on. Another example of poor defending here. It is 1-1. Juventus are back in the game. They have been the better team. We had a lovely phase of play, but we just gave the ball away sloppily here. Ball gets to Fabio Vieira. Vieira with the ball up. I think it's Charlie Cresswell who steps out of his line. No, actually, it's Pavlovic, the goal scorer. And as you can see, our defence do get back in to try and sort it, but he just toe pokes it. And what is Lunin doing there? He doesn't even try to dive. I don't know if it's because Pavlovic is there, and that's the game's way of interpreting them getting in and way of each other. But it's poor. It's really, really poor. It's another example of why Boyan Hall is probably going to be our goalkeeper next season. Half time, we have definitely competed in this game. We've gotten better as the game has gone on. But unfortunately, their goal was just ridiculous. We should not be conceding such a sloppy goal like that. But we are still in this tie. It is only the first leg. And we currently have a 1-1 draw. Fingers crossed the second half is a bit better for us. Andrea Pinamonti has just put us ahead again. My goodness me. Juventus had the ball, they gave it away. Charlie Cresswell, who has not had a good game, gets it to James Ward-Prowse. And I tell you what, Ward-Prowse is turning up today. Palmer then gets the ball, and it's a lovely pass through. Pinamonti breaks through, hits it first time. Erkan Shakir, not a chance at saving it. And we lead in the home tie. Get in there, boys, come on. Well, I think that is job done in the first leg. It is indeed 2-1 against Juventus. Pavlovic and Pinamonti with the goals. I have to say, I'm pretty happy with that. Especially considering, against the bigger teams recently, we have struggled. However, our biggest struggles have been away from home. So remember, this is the home leg. There is still a chance that we're going to balls this up. We do still have the away leg. If we have a quick look at the schedule, you can see against Arsenal, that was away. Man United, that was away. Villa, that was away. Man City, that was away. But if we look at Liverpool at home, okay, we lost, but it was only 1-0 there. To be fair, that's a bad run, those three. But our home games, typically, we are much better. We've got a draw against United at home as well. Against Spurs, we've got a draw at home as well. Against Chelsea, well, that's away from home, okay. That kind of ruins the point. But you get my point. I think I'm a bit more concerned about that second leg, but the fact that we've got a win today gives us a chance. Right, I'll be back with you for that Man City game, and fingers crossed, we don't balls it up. I've just come to the realisation as we're about to go into the EFL Cup final. I didn't talk to you about the transfer window. I didn't talk to you about the deals that we ended up doing. So I'll start with the outs. We did let one or two players you probably wouldn't expect us to have let go. And those players are Francois Herault. He's gone to Benfica out on loan. He's made 9 appearances from so far, and he's growing quite nicely, which is good to see. We'll let him go. How's his dribbling's finally gone up, which is nice to see, actually. That's a good thing. I haven't actually checked in on him since he's gone. And the other surprising one might be to people would be Marcus Antonio. Now, Marcus Antonio was good for us last season, but this season he did struggle. So we just thought, well, I just thought, let's cut our losses. Now, we couldn't actually get him out the door on a permanent. PSG came in for him at one point, and he turned them down. So Barcelona came in with a loan offer. I don't think there's an obligation to buy on there. I can't actually remember. If there is, that would be great. That's my phone going off. I don't think there is. No, there's not. So he will be coming back to us next season, at the end of this season, to be fair. And then we'll see whether we can move him on at that point. We then brought in just the one player, and it was this guy. The reason I'm pointing this out is because he's actually going to be starting today. Vuk Stanisic. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong, but he's a Serbian under 21 and full international. He's making 13 caps for them. He doesn't count as a wonder kid, but he's a 4.5 star potential player, possibly only 3.5 star potential, but he's already 3 star. And to be honest, I've only used him a couple of times, but he's looked solid enough. He's not the quickest in the world, but he's a big, strong lad. His heading's not the best, but I'm not going to lie, he was a player. I needed another defender. I wasn't comfortable with the players that we had. I just thought he's young, he's talented, let's bring him in. And he only cost us 22.5 million. I think if we decided he's not going to be good enough, and to be honest, I'm looking at his heading's not spectacular, we could always move him on and try and get a lot more money for him. I mean, up to 52 million apparently at the moment. So We'll see what we can do. But those are the transfer dealings that we did. The reason why I'm starting him today is because Charlie Cresswell and his big matches, I just don't want to risk it. So this is the 11 we're going to be using to go against Manchester City. It's Lunin in goal, Livramento, Stanisic, Pavlovic and Thomas in the defence. Lavia, Ward-Prowse and Murray in the midfield with Palmer supporting Pinamonti and Price up front. Murray starts for the simple reason that Veloso has had an injury since the last time I was with you. And he's just taken a while to get back going. And in that time, Murray actually has stepped up and he has looked good. Tamara, who I can't remember whether you were around when we brought him back from loan. But we brought Tamara back. And to be fair, he has been okay when we've used him. I mean, look at that team. Look at that team. By the way, if my voice sounds like it's going, it's because it is. I've had just started the first week of my new job. And it involves talking on the phone quite a bit. And I think my throat and my voice are struggling to get used to it. So as you can hear, my voice is like trying to go a little bit, which is a bit frustrating. Believe it or not, I'm meant to go to the cinema tonight to watch Guardians of the Galaxy 3. So no spoilers in the comments, thank you. But because of all of that, my throat is slightly messed up. It's cup final, by the way, guys. Cup final. Yay. Let's go and win it. So yeah, apologies for how my throat is sounding. If there's the odd cut, or if you've noticed the odd cut so far, it is because I've had to stop and have a cough. To be fair, because I only showed you highlights of that Juventus game where we won 2-1, I think you probably haven't seen a lot of it. I think I got through the majority of the intros without having to cough too much, so I think I've gone away with it so far. We've just gotten away with that, because that was them just cutting through us like hot butter. But we managed to get away with it. Lunin doing okay, not absolutely ballsing things up just yet. Right, Palmer flicks it on. And gives the ball away straight away. In real life news, when I'm recording this, it's the day after Southampton have actually been relegated in real life. So, Holland's in here. It's going to be 1-0, isn't it? Yeah, it's 1-0. 1-0. Oh, well. Southampton have been relegated in real life. So, both in this and in my rebuild, we have done far better than Southampton did in the real world. I'm quite sad that they've been relegated in real life because they're one of my teams that I like to have a look at. Obviously, I am a Villa fan. I do keep up with a lot of other teams as well, just because I'm interested. But Southampton are one of those teams that just because they develop some fantastic young players, and they tend to have some decent signings every now and then as well. You look at the likes of Van Dijk and Mane. But yeah, it's sad to see that they've been relegated. Hopefully, it won't be too long until they're back in the Premier League. Hopefully, it's just a straight ride back up. But who knows? Romeo Lavia against his former club, by the way, leading us out today as club captain, nearly bending it in, but he bends it just wide. We are giving as good as we've gotten in this game so far, and it is good to see. Right, Livramento to Pinamonti, back to Livramento, looking for options, goes all the way back to Lunin. Lunin now, going to try and get it forward. Lavia, pass it to Ward-Prowse, Ward-Prowse into Price, Price looking for Murray, hits it just too far over him, and then Vinicius Tobias, what a name that is, by the way, manages to get the ball instead of him. But Murray does really well there. That's the thing with Lewis Murray. I'm currently training him. Gone over. Apologies, pause for a cough. I'm currently training Lewis Murray to be a box-to-box midfielder because with his tackling ability, I actually think he'd be more useful there than he would be as a Mazzala. He could be the natural heir to Ward-Prowse's position in the team. He's doing all right as a Mazzala, though, to be fair, and actually having that little extra bite in the tackle is actually helping him in that position because he's a more forward-oriented player who can tackle higher up the pitch, and that's not a bad thing to have. And I don't even know why Lunin is standing in the goal there because the ball's just gone straight through him. 2-0. 2-0 to Man City. I think it might be game over already. Don't want to watch this stinking replay, but we're going to watch it anyway. It's a shame that, is it Price on that one? It is. A shame we couldn't get there. Bernardo Silva gets in. I'm just Lunin here. I don't know what he's doing. It's across him, yeah, but he should be doing better there. 2-0 to Man City. I think we know how this one's going. Price apparently has been absolutely poleaxed at some point. I don't know how I got that little thing up there. I've never seen that before. Right, we're going to say this one. Keep going, keep going, keep going. I'm not going to say anything too dramatic. Lou Thomas is anxious. We're just going to bin him off straight away. Tino can go to left back. We'll bring on Jimenez. And we're going to have to make some other changes, I think. Pinamonti's had a shocker. Tommy Gardner trained really well before this game, so let's bring him on. See whether we can do anything. Lewis Murray's actually frustrated, so we'll bring on Alan Tamara. And I want to see how he can possibly do for us. We should really take Price off as well. I don't really want to make 4 substitutions, but his fitness has me worried. So we're going to have to, I think. And we'll bring Marles on. And then we've got that final substitution to try and mix things up. And we are going to go full on attack. Let's just do it. I'm not going to change the formation just yet. To the old faithful, what I like to call a crossbow. But we'll consider it. I'm just going to tell these guys, go out there and make a difference. Right, come on, boys. Fire up. Let's give it our best. Let's see if we can just get a goal to get back in. It was an absolute mistake starting Stanisic in this game, by the way. I see that now. He's on the 6.3. He's had a miserable time. Frustrating thing is, opportunity-wise, we've competed. But their passing's been sharper. They've had more of the ball. And their chances have just been better. So, it is what it is. And Tino's picked up a knock. So's Tommy Gardner. So's Tommy Gardner. This game, it just knows when you have injuries. It just knows, sorry, when you've used substitutions, and it just piles the injuries on you. Now I've got a real problem. Stanisic is having a shocker. Livramento has to come off regardless, and Tommy Gardner's going to be injured as well. And we've used 4 of our 5 subs. Tino has to come off. There's no debating it. Apologies for another pause. Had actually had a delivery at the door that time. I'm just trying to work out what the best thing to do here is, because I'd want to move Stanisic to one of the wing-back positions, but no one can really play there very well when we take Tino off. So to leave him on the pitch is going to be a bit of a gamble. Borno can't really play there. Ward-Prowse can't really play there, but he kind of can at the same time. Basically, any of the guys right back can play there, other than Stanisic. I just don't want to play him there. Just very concerned by him in that position. So I don't really know what the best thing to do is. Part of me is debating, do I go 3 at the back? Okay, no, it's just a madness, but we're going to go back to a slight old faithful. We're just going to give it a go. Ward-Prowse is going to play as an inverted wing-back, so he's going to get into the middle here. Tamara and Lavia are going to get up and down a little bit. We're going to just see what they can do. I mean, we're going to make you a winning midfielder, actually. And Tamara can be the playmaker. We're just going to see, actually, playmaker and box-to-box. We'll do it that way. And we'll just see if these guys can get forward and support, and then these guys are going to do their thing as well. I think we've lost this, and I think we're going to see Tommy Gardner go off with an injury soon as well. We're just going to see what we can do. I think the game has gone. I'm pretty sure it's gone. If it hasn't, it will take something monumental for us to come back into it. So we might as well just take the gamble and go for it, to be honest. What we were doing wasn't really working. We had a couple of decent chances, but really it was nothing that was going to get us into the game. And Stanisic just heads it over to Mikolenko. Mikolenko going to try and get it in, get it into to Yahaya, and Lunin just pushes it into his own net. And it's 3-0. And I think we're not going to be winning our first major trophy of the save. I don't know why. I'm hypothesizing here, but I do think it's probably gone. We're just going to change the way we're doing this. And we're going to go over the top. And we're just going to go for it now. There's no point messing about. We're just going to go for it. We're going to press a bit more as well. We're going to try and stop crosses. Let's just do it. Let's just go for it. And let's just see whether we can just get them on the counter. Maybe sneak in a goal. If we can score a goal, I'll consider that to be a victory. But this is a very good Man City side. Still got Erling Haaland up front. They've still got players like Bernardo Silva and Phil Foden. Phil Foden not playing today due to injury. But they've still got some fantastic players. Mikolenko, I tell you what, he's been superb today. He's been absolutely superb. 4-0 in the 72nd minute. Poor. It's very, very poor. But it is what it is. Great the team, because it's been a poor performance from us all told. All I was not really doing it. Stanisic is having an absolute shocker of a game. Right, Gardner. We have an opportunity in their half for once. Jimenez is going to try and whip the ball in. He's going to hold it up. He's held it up to Stanisic. Why he's passed it to Stanisic there, I don't know. Who nearly undersells the pass. Tamara now. Going to go for a worldie. He has. He's just brushed the top of the lanes. Good to see us getting forward. Good to see us having a chance. But we don't make the right decisions there. And it has cost us the opportunity to get a goal back. Again, I'm disappointed in the team. It was always going to be difficult in such a high pressure situation. It's the first final we've gotten to as Southampton, but gone out with a bit of a whimper here. We've let them kind of dominate us. Okay, injuries haven't helped us in this game. Obviously, Price went off with a knock. Gardner's got a knock up front. He's currently leading the line with a knock. Then we had to take off Livramento as well. Stanisic we threw in. That's my bad that we threw Stanisic in. We really shouldn't have. Loon in there with a really, really good save, actually. Fair play to him. I've criticised him a lot, but it's good to give him praise when it's needed. It's a shame it's at 4-0, but fair play to him for getting that save in there. Head the ball away. It's only as far as Mikolenko, who, again, has been really one of the keys to ripping us apart here today, but it's offside there, and we have a chance to go back up the other end. But I imagine we won't see the result of it. Our team is shattered, by the way, for the next leg against Juventus. Absolutely shattered. And, wow, It would have been nice, but let's be completely honest. It's a difficult thing. I need to turn my phone on silent. It's a difficult thing for us to do, to beat a team like Man City, even this far into the save, because they are so good. We haven't done it, and they are going to lift the trophy. We'll give them their due. We'll give them their celebration. Okay, that's enough of it. Well, that was a long list of poor performances there. I'm going to give us a bit of a break on it purely because, in the nicest possible way, it was Man City. It was Man City. Team who are, I mean, they won the league last season and they're currently just ahead of us, but on 2 points in third position. United have come out of nowhere this season, by the way. They've been absolutely superb. Right, we have got 3 days until Juventus, and the team is quite frankly dead. Lavia apparently desperately needs a rest. He can only have 2 days. That's all we can afford. Livramento, he's waited treatment on a fractured lower arm. But he can play through it. He can play through it. He's playing through it. He's playing through it. Tommy Gardner, out for 1 to 2 days. Should be back for the game against Juventus. And I am going to turn my phone on silent. That was poor, but you know what? We'll rise above and we will try and dust ourselves off and get ourselves ready for the away game against Juventus. I don't think this is going to be a happy episode, if I'm honest. Back for the game against Juventus in the second leg of the Champions League last 16. And I've got a horrible feeling this is not going to go very well, but we're going to give it our best shot anyway. And this is your 11 that will be giving it their best shot. It's Lunin in goal, Jimenez, Borno, Pavlovic and Thomas in defence, Lavia, Ward-Prowse and Murray in the midfield with Palmer supporting Pinamonti and Price up front. It's a very similar team to what you're used to at this point. I've not rotated it too heavily because I'm kind of putting the last game down just to being a bit of a one-off. So I'm going to give Murray, Ward-Prowse, Jimenez. I'm going to give these guys another chance. We have brought Borno in instead of Stanisic because, quite frankly, that was appalling. That was absolutely shocking. But we're going to give them a go. Livramento is on the bench. He is wearing protective equipment on his arm, so he is able to play should we need him. Tommy Gardner is also recovered just about as well. I am tempted to put Veloso in. Actually, do you know what? I've just talked myself straight into that. We're going to put Veloso in there. And we'll see what we can do. Fingers crossed we can get something from this game that means we go through to the next round. At least that's the hope anyway. But I don't know. I mean, that first leg was very, very good, but that Man City game could have a disastrous hangover. Right, come on, boys. Let's do it. Let's try and get through. Let's try and sneak past them into the quarterfinals. I've just got a feeling that we're going to get absolutely shellacked here. There's every chance that we will. There is every chance that they will. Having said that, as tired as we are, and we are tired, we managed to get most people back to full fitness, but there is a tiredness in the squad. They're also quite tired as well, so they must be really heavy on the old schedule as well. Fabio Vieira has been put onto the wing in this game, so they have got a new striker up front. He is a wonder kid, so I'm a bit worried about what that will possibly mean. Really well done there from Pavlovic. Ward-Prowse to Veloso now. Veloso into Cole Palmer. Cole Palmer, who does have a great pass on him. He finds Pinamonti. Is Pinamonti onside? I don't know whether he is. The linesman's flag is up. I've got a feeling this will be disallowed. The referee is reviewing it. A fabulous finish, and it has been disallowed. An early goal for Pinamonti, not given on his return to Italy. Palmer gets the ball here. It's a glorious pass, but he is offside. It has to be said. He is offside. It will not count, and we remain 2-1 after the first leg. But we have started well. That's the most important thing. We are putting Juventus under a decent amount of early pressure. However, we know they have got the quality absolutely pepper us. And there it is, Federico Chiesa. For some reason, we just seem to have a defence, no matter who's in it, made out of paper mache. It's made out of paper mache. I mean, we may get it to Vieira. I'm watching Chiesa in the box at the moment, and our defender just doesn't react to it properly. I think it's Jimenez. It's Jimenez. Poor marking there from Jimenez. Both of the centre-backs were brought out of position there, by the way. So Jimenez was the one who had to deal with it, even though he probably didn't want to be the one dealing with it. Borno really should have been there, and he wasn't, and that has led to us conceding that early goal. So all of a sudden, we're back to square one. And remember, I'm assuming it's still the same in the future, but I don't believe that we have any away goals. So as it stands, we will go to extra time. Don't think we need extra time at the moment. I don't think they do either, to be fair. I think they'd rather avoid it. So they might as well just score. And we'll just be done with it. Might as well just score. Oh, boy. And it's been given as well. And it's been given. And it's the guy who didn't start last game. Itamar. Wonder Kid. Broken through there. Like, no one's paying attention. And actually, he's run. Made the others focus on him. And then Itamar managed to break through. And encourage the boys. Come on, boys. It's fine. It's all good. Get the ball. Go at the other ends. Get it in the back of the net. We know we can do it. Right, Price is on the ball here. Gets it on the inside. He's got options to pass it. Pass it to Palmer. Into Pinamonti. Palmer's there. And Okoli clears it practically off the line. We have another great opportunity, but we just cannot get it in the back of the net there. We're not dead in this game yet. I know it's 2-0. We're not dead in this game. But tell the players that we can earn a draw here. Right. Individually. Lunin. Not good. He's had the wrong reaction there. We've just pressured him. Right, you guys, not good enough. Veloso, calm yourself down. Pinamonti, not been good enough. Palmer, poor. Right. Do we even risk making any substitutions? I'm thinking about Cole Palmer. It's a shame because that pass was delightful that he made. But we'll bring on Dario Marles. We'll see whether we can change anything for us. I don't really know what else I want to do. Nothing. We'll leave it at that. We'll leave it at that. Right, Marles. Go and change the game for us. Fire up. Come on, boys. Come on, let's do it. We have battered them chances-wise. We've absolutely battered them. Right, it's cleared only as far as Bremer. Into Datro. It's gone in the back of the net. Is it going to be allowed? It's a scrappy goal. Yet again, it's another scrappy goal that we concede. Unless it gets disallowed. It's not been 3-0. It's over. We're out. Poor defending yet again. I think it's one of our players who heads it there as well. Yeah, it is. Bremer heads it in. It's the keeper. It's the keeper again. Furious. I'm absolutely livid. If I could bring Hoyenhal back now, I would. But Bursic is on. He's going to play the remainder of the game. Or Price with a free kick. I mean, it's over already. It is already over. Pavlovic into Veloso. Veloso goes for a world. He puts it just over. And our goal-scoring ability, which has been our biggest strength all season, just seems to disappear in games like this. We just struggle to put it in the back of the net. We're going to go attacking for the final period of the game. Veloso on the yellow card. We do have to be careful of that. Right, Datro flicks it on. Bear in mind, the last two games that we're going to have been battered in are against Juventus and Man City. There's teams who you'd expect probably to give us a bit of a thumping. It's Juventus and Manchester City. Bearing in mind as well, we've already beat Juventus once. So it's not like we didn't have one good performance against them. And we've shown in this save that we can compete against Man City as well. Just we're in an unfortunate run of form. I think we need to have a proper look over the summer at this squad. And properly determine what we need. And Pinamonti, that just sums everything up. That sums up our lot. Pinamonti has a chance. And he just will not go in for him. He's coming off. Pinamonti's coming off. Tommy Gardner's coming on. Who else as well? Luke Thomas is not having a good game. Aaron Hick can come on. That's 4 changes. We might as well make the 5th one as well. And then we'll see who gets injured. Because that's usually the way it works. Right. We'll bring on Lewis Murray. We want him to be a box-to-box midfielder. Fine. Playing this one. Come on. 3-0. Man more. I'm actually also going to put Marles up front. We're going to go to the crossbow, as I like to call it. If it actually makes sense calling it the crossbow, but it's going to be the crossbow. Let's just see if we can get a goal. If we can get a goal, I'll be not happy, but happier. We'll have wounded them. We'll have drawn some blood. I don't think it's going to happen. We do have a late corner here, though. Marles is going to take it. See if he can get it on the head of one of our players. He's looking apparently for Borno. And Borno has got one back. Former captain, who we took out of the team because he was making mistakes along with Lunin, has gone and pulled us a goal back. Too little too late. I don't think we're going to get another goal. No, we're not. And look a little bit more respectable in the end. 4-3 on aggregate, but 3-1 on the night. It's a shame because we absolutely dominated them at the end of the game if you look at the stats, but wasn't to be. And yet again, is our defence that's let us down. We are aware of what we need to do in the summer. Gardner's out for 3 days. We've got an 18-day gap now, thank God. I'm going to give the players a week off training because we desperately need it. In fact, I'm going to do that now. I'm going to give everyone in this starting lineup 1 week off. And then we'll get the match training. I do feel quite deflated at that, I've got to be honest. I do feel quite deflated in the manner of it as well. And yet again, it's Lunin. The amount of errors he has made this season. Don't know if there'll be a stat that can show me it. Isn't really, is there? But I mean, he has the odd game every now and then. But if we have a look at his run in these last however many games it is. What's that? Is that 16 or 14? Is it 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 games. 15 games here. He's kept 3 clean sheets. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. In 14 games, he's conceded 25. Kept 3 clean sheets. It's not good enough. For where the offensive side of our game is, which is second best in the league, it's the 9th worst defence in the league, which means we'd be 11th on that. Which is what's balancing us out in the middle here. Any money we get next season has to go towards overhauling the defence. It absolutely has to. Okay, so we are out of every competition other than the Premier League now. So what do? Do we come back and do we play a couple of games in April, or do we go all the way through to May? I think we should still come back for April. I think that is what we're going to do. So we'll come back around... Well, I'll tell you what. Let's play something like Leeds and Bournemouth. Let's play the derby against Bournemouth, and we'll play one of the games around that. And then we'll do the last couple of games. We'll do Leeds and Bournemouth, play the last couple, and then we'll go to Newcastle and West Ham. And we'll see what we do there. I'll reassess that after the end of the next episode. But yeah, Leeds and Bournemouth is going to be your next video. Just to remind you, in the Premier League, it's not all roses at the moment because we are currently 5th. However, should we win our game in hand over Man City, well, not our game in hand over Man City, our game in hand over Newcastle, Villa and Man United, we would actually go up to 58 points. So we could potentially be ahead of Villa depending on goal difference. So we could actually go back up to 2nd. But City have still got a game in hand as well. They would go to 2nd as well. So I'd say at the moment, we're probably net 3rd. But take that with a pinch of salt. But yeah, I will see you for the games against Leeds and Bournemouth. And hopefully, we'll have a happier time in those 2 contests. But until then, thank you so much for watching. If you've enjoyed today's video, you're a monster. But don't forget to like if you did. And subscribe so you don't miss any Football Manager content to come in the future. I've been Stu. You guys have been awesome. And I'll see you in the next one. But hopefully we win more. Cheers.